Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new quarter, the Systems Lab Live. This is also my 3-year. July is the third year of my going live anniversary. So I first went live July 19th of 2020, and we're gonna have a good old time. We're gonna have a good old time. On this one. So, anywho, I see a couple of folks have joined. Hello, how are you? Those that are tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the July 3rd System Lab live show. This is a live show that is dedicated to managing teams, leading projects, and developing processes. This is the only weekly live stream for project pros. Pros meaning project managers, project leaders. You might be under a title of business analyst and whatnot. This is really for those that are in the service provider space, social impact, corporate. Really, if you lead, manage, and organize a project, a team, and work in a capacity, you'll be able to learn a lot from this live stream. There's about over 100 videos on here, probably at least over 100 live streams that we've done. Great topics. You can do just a whole masterclass, on a lot of these topics. And so what I announced yesterday, today, well, I think it's mainly today that I announced it on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Twitter as well. I introduced a brand new format for moving forward, like right now, like today. So we're in the next gen project manager series. I'm very excited about this particular series because we're just niching down a little bit more. In the past, you've seen I've had many different types of content on case studies, app demos. We're right now going through the Black Tech Effect Report. We've been doing that since late February, people. Yes, late February. And we're going to take it all the way to about early August, I believe. And so what we're doing with that is we are breaking down all of the Black tech startup product leaders, those that are really innovating in this space. I think it's a phenomenal report. I think it's groundbreaking. It has captivated my attention as I continue to study and dive deep into the world of product. So that's why we're doing it. I think it gives a great perspective too about the depth and breadth of work of project/product management, all the things that you can do. What pulls at my particular strings and interest is the social impact space. And so there's many different types of leaders out there that are doing some phenomenal work in that space. So yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got. So I'm gonna pull up today's agenda. We're still powered by Miro. So we can just get started on what's next. Okay, I'm going to pull some things up. I just want to make sure. Okay. I'm going to go right here to our opening slide. While you are waiting, please do me a huge favor. I need for you in particularly to go ahead and put in the comments where you're from and what you're working on. What are you working on this quarter? Let me grab my little water right quick. What are you working on this quarter? What is it a project? Are you working on multiple projects? Are you trying to mastermind or figure out something as well? What's yeah, what you doing and how you do it? So this is going to be just a spectacular time today, and we're going to get into the agenda as well. So as you're putting that in the comments, where you're from, what you're working on, questions that you might have. On today's agenda, we're going to go from the desk segment. That's where I'm just going to put in any sort of newsworthy items. This is where the Black Tech Effect report will be, and any type of article that I'd love to highlight. And then we'll get into the Next Gen Digital PM, and we're going to walk through 3 core areas of leadership strategy and execution. We talked about the new focus in a minute. So now what really calls your attention to what should you do with this information? About micro action steps. So we'll fill out live on the screen. We'll fill out what you should be focusing on at the end. Okay. All right. I'm just loving it. Ba 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 ba. So the new focus, fantastic. Carol Brown, shout out to you, Carol. Multiple migration and upgrade applications and servers. Wow. So, Carol, you are in some really high stakes work. We're talking about systems and software and migrations. We're talking about coding. If I'm in the right space of thinking about what you're doing. So I'm imagining that you have multiple timelines that you are managing, people, milestone dates, a lot of fun stuff, but probably high stakes. That's going on. So she said multiple migration, absolutely. This is the type of stuff that you just don't want to play around with, right? So cool, Carol. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so the new focus of what we're doing, like I said, this place and space of Systems Lab Live has had a lot of what would you say? Systems Lab Live has had a lot of iterations, right? It was first something that was behind the scenes. It was something that I would just teach a lesson every week. Boom, 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 boom. Opened it up, started live streaming October 2022. Once a week. We started just getting a little more focused, Oh, we also have the Wednesday live streams that I was doing on Instagram as well. Topical every week, different types of things going on. Let's say a lot of live streams. I feel like I have over 100 videos so far. Need to put a PSA out for a really good editor that would love to work with a cool and creative PM in mind that could just cut content up. But you know, I know there's tools out there too, so I have to balance out the both of them. So anyway, that was the first wave, behind the scenes. Second wave, live stream and focusing on project management topics. Shifted to more of some themed content, and that was in April of last year. Yeah, April of last year. Started theming out the content, got a little bit more precise, continued all of that, and it was great. Like I just love the themed content. You can follow it very, very clearly. And in this particular season that we're in now, what's really coming together is 3 core concepts of the Next Gen Digital Project Manager. The Next Gen Project Manager. Digital in some respects, right? Because we're in a digital era. But what this really means is that we are leveling up for the now and the future. So we're leveling up now, meaning we're leveling up in skill, we're leveling up in technical skills and leadership skills, right? And also innovation and creativity. So so from that, we're equipping myself and others like you, like yourself, like Miss Carol here, and others in these 3 core areas: leadership development, project strategy, and execution. I love it. Leadership development. How are we leading? What are our values in leading? And because of let me slow it down. How are we leading? What are our core values? Okay. Secondly, strategy. What is our approach? What is our approach to the project, the process, the initiative, the product, the service? You fill in the blank. The multiple migration and upgrade application and servers, right? What's the strategy? And then the execution. We're not talking about clicking something in Jira and ClickUp in Monday or Asana. We're talking about how do we manage change? How are we managing risk? Okay. How do we actually go about managing multiple deliverables? What does that look like? So good. The quality of our work. There's so much meat in these three core tenets. So this is a leveling up, right? This, where it will take we'll take a step back from more of the, I'll show and tell a lot of apps and things, and we're gonna pull it back, but we're also going to go a little bit deeper. Okay. I'm excited about it. I think this is going to be really, really good for us to scope, and then we'll go a bit deeper, right? We'll go deeper into the water. What's going on? What's going on? It's good to see you. So, we are live. We're live every Monday on YouTube and LinkedIn. You guys can see the visuals. Those on the Instagram. I love to hang out with y'all. And also, too, I would love for you to know as well, there will be a next gen PM series that's going to be on Instagram only with some of the peoples that I know and love. Even some new people that I have been introduced to. And we're going to be exploring these core tenets, these core areas through their lens of their industry. What I love about this is that this particular next gen PM, the next gen digital PM, is that we're not just focusing on like this one little niche person, right? We're going to bring in some content creators. We're going to bring in some event planners, some service providers. Why? Because this world is so expansive. We know that there's so many different ways to, slice and dice this whole thing of this project world, that I just want to make sure that we have some of the core areas. So this is just going to be fun. Those of you that are in and really want to, that are in these following industries, like you're in social impact, you're in a mission driven organization, you are in the service provider agency organization, like where it's, you got clients and, and you're providing a service, and you really want to really start to get some more training and development pieces in. This is the ecosystem that you want to start to dive into. Live stream all day, every day, every Monday. And then you want to text PM Huddle, hashtag PM Huddle to 626-722-544. That is where I will strictly be producing content for the PMs that sign up through this text link. Okay. These are folks, even if you're in the corporate space, again, training and development. This is what we're really after. This is more training, more development of you in your role as a project pro. And so we're going to be having some exclusive content and some exclusive meetups. It's going to be lovely. Okay. I feel like we're on the same page. Please let me know you got questions. Text messages. Oh, frequency. Once a week, maybe twice, just to let you know a few things. We'll eventually also have some Q&A just for the text community, but this is how we do it. No Montel Jordan pun, but here we go. Logo community is in the building. Good to see you as well. Let me make sure that I have everything. Okay. Cool. Make sure you share this live stream with 2 to 3 people that you would like to, that are in your field that may find it interesting. Let's see. What have I also been up to on a personal side? Had a fantastic time at my church's picnic yesterday. It was wonderful. It was very hot. We had a good time. Barbecue chicken, ribs, all the things, games, even some games I did not even know about. There was a big block of human Jenga, right? Something that I was texting my other life group, my Avengers group, which is a cool group of folks we met in a personal and professional development community, and we've just been linked up ever since. We did some accountability calls together. We woke up at 6 a.m., coached some people, hundreds of people actually, and so we've been in community together for a while. But I sent them the text that says, I'm doing better with more diversifying my rest and having pockets of rest. So for myself, I'm not necessarily rest is not sleep for me. It has to do with just unplugging from the activities that I do enjoy. Like I do enjoy like this, prepping for the live stream. That's great for me, right? But what do I have outside of career and business and other things, right? The creating of podcasts and whatnot. Had a fantastic conversation with someone today, really helping me to tease out what's going to be happening with the podcast. And so I believe I should be ready, really ready to pour myself into that mid to late August. Should be very exciting. Have some structure down. I need to at least spend this month writing down, tinkering through some thoughts structure wise. Once I 80% have it, and you can go to solo.2. And I should, do I have it in in any of my show notes where you guys can add some feedback on the podcast? But once it comes out, I'll definitely be pointing to the Miro board where you can add your feedback on the podcast. And I think that for me would be fantastic. So structure is huge for me. I want to nail it down. I want to nail down the storytelling, and I'm going to be adding a couple of elements. And so we're going to grow. We're just going to grow this thing. Do I have any more notes? Trying new things. Yes. Trying new things. Yes. I want to get a bike. Okay. I figure, let's just put it out there. I would love a bike. I would love to start biking. I'm diversifying my workout. I typically do 4 miles a day of walking, split up with some walking and running. I'm not like a long distance runner or anything like that. On the treadmill, I can run pretty on like a good day. I mean, I can do it for like 20, 25 minutes solid of running. But I've most recently started incorporating rowing and then also more of the core ab workout. So that's what we got here. But we got to get into from the desk. Glad I got, so that y'all can just vibe with me. So we're going to go straight into one of my favorite segments, which is the Black Tech Effect Report. And we're going to go straight into Rosilia Severety Wilson, who is dominates. Let me just pull up. I'm just trying to pull up really quickly the description. Hold on one second, folks. 1 second. I think it's loading up. I do have a tendency to have a whole lot of tabs open though. Okay, y'all can see this, right? I just want to make sure. Come through StreamYard. Okay. Okay. So powering the people, changing the world. Again, this type of stuff here. Thursday Network in the building. What up? What up? Okay. So we're getting into Resilia. And that is by, I'm pulling this up. You have to go and just so you guys make sure. Let me put this up here because I always put this up. Where's the banner? The blacktecheffect.com. That's where you want to go to pull up the report. Okay. Let me pull up Resilia is a grants management and capacity building software that supports nonprofits with operational management to increase capacity, and funders go beyond the grant with technical assistance, coaching, and capacity building support. Boom. That right there. It is a whole system. Those that are on nonprofit boards, that have worked for nonprofits, this, my friend, is for you. This software, being able to be coached, being able to have technical assistance, beautiful. Okay, the founder is Sevretri Wilson. She's in New Orleans. This was founded in 2016. Software as a service, HBCU founder. I have learned of her a few months back where she was able to raise a whole bunch of money. I think it was pretty groundbreaking. I have to pull it. I can't remember. I got to Google that article. So there's a new, I love this update. Accept online donations with no hidden fees. Using Resilia donation is free. Our flat processing fee covered by 95% of the donors is only applied when you receive a donation, ensures you're not paying upfront costs. Solutions for change makers at every stage. Grow your nonprofit. Strengthen grantees. This is beautiful. Mission facing and back office capacity support. Unlimited one-on-one nonprofit coaching. Peer-to-peer learning. Trusted by hundreds of nonprofits, foundations, and companies. The Boston Foundation. Hawaii Community Foundation. Arnold Ventures. These are like, again, Chicago Beyond. These are the places that are really digging in deep with the money, partnering with private and public sector, really building and getting into some of the social work that is evident and needed. Black-led nonprofits, reflections and actions. So you just did something for that. That's awesome. How nonprofits can enhance their online donations. So they got a lot here. I'm going to make sure that I am connected. Am I? I don't know if I am, but I like it. I want to start one. Look at here, look at here, right here. Oh, see these. Oh, traffic lights. I don't think this is it. But what we gonna see? Oh, not police. Try again. Cars. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's go back up here. About us. Let's look at the team. Let's go, team. Resilient. Go and Google that and you'll be able to get it. Headquartered in New Orleans. It was named VentureBeat Top Startup to Watch Out in 2019. Savitri was honored in Inc. magazine's 100 Female Founders. She also has a book too. Oh, a second book. Come on. Resilient, How to Overcome Anything and Build $1 Million Business with or Without Capital in 2021. Leadership. Here we got the revenue officer, chief technology, head of ops. Always got to have an ops person. It's beautiful. Look at this. VP of Customer Success, Community Impact, Nonprofits Manager. This just looks like a great place to work. I tell you what. Finance. Come on, somebody. Marketing. Product Marketing Manager. This is where I want to learn. Product and Design. Ooh, a whole team. Oh, marketing. Yeah. I see. Senior. Instructional designer. Beautiful. Institutional partners. It's a beautiful team. Engineering. Just look at that, right? People. Powerful people. So powerful. All right, y'all. Next up, revitalize your vehicle. What's up, Jason? So revitalize charging solutions. And again, this type of stuff just it amazes me. Really, the ingenuity, the creativity of Black tech startups is just fantastic. Edward Morgan founded this in 2013. Revitalized charging solutions in Fort Worth, Texas. Clean tech, electric vehicle manufacturing. Revitalized Charging Solutions is an electric vehicle supply equipment manufacturer company. The company services private or public businesses designing and building interactive chargers that are user friendly. So inventive, right? So inventive. I am going to decline these cookies. Is that terrible? We got home charger mobile app, commercial solutions, charger locators. These are pretty neat. I mean, this is all about the 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 what do you want to call environmental solutions, right? I have not seen, and maybe no, I can't say I've seen it when the charging stations, but I don't know if I've seen it like I don't know if I've seen these. Are they everywhere? Let's look, people. Revitalize. Okay. Are they all over the? Are they just in Texas? Where would they be? I'm going to. Okay, maybe allow. Okay, what happened? Okay. Is there anything? Do we got it? Do we have it? Anything? Oh, right here. Oh, okay. It's right here. Neat. That's cool. Right here. It's not too far. That's exciting. Well, like I said, this is beautiful. All right. Next up, we have I've never seen this before. We got Rayettes, a social justice network by Justin Moore, founder, Justin Moore, Washington, D.C., Civic Tech mobile app. Let's see. Rayettes is on a mission to end racism and racial justice by protecting the rights and dignity of marginalized and vulnerable population. Rayettes combines the rights of citizens to equality, equity, and freedom with eyewitnesses who ensure those in power are accountable. The Rayettes mobile app helps users document police encounters in a public as eyewitnesses of injustice. Oh, now who would have thunk that? Not I, not I. This is Okay. Well, how powerful is that? Okay. Well, hold on. Let's click out of this X. Know your rights, knowledge base. Alternatives to calling 911, film and report civil rights abuse, join action campaigns, set groups, and build coalitions. Oh, well, this is a novel and world changing idea. Know your rights, connect with like minded individuals. Partners. So, personal injury, different law offices. Wow. Who watches the watchers? Learn how we are empowering citizens around you. Learn how we're doing that. This is pretty neat. Community Partners Program. Is anybody like this? Is yeah, Justice in Tech. I love this. Now, Rights and Eyes. Riots. Rights. Okay, I'm with it. Now, who else? Justice Technology. So, who would have thunk it that there's a Justice Technology organization? Oh, they got clothing too. Organizations. This is great. Now, is any of the they got more? They got the NAACP. They got the Urban League. Who else is here? Very exciting. Very, very exciting. I love it. This is very okay. Let's see. What's going on? Oh, the Jones Life is in the building. All right. So our next one that's up is okay, so we got we got Rayets. We spent some time on Rayets. Oh, Rocket Lawyer. Let's talk about that for a minute. Oh, okay. Rocket Lawyer and then Saratoga Energy. I think that's it, folks. Okay. And we're going to go over to Rocket Lawyer, which I did not know was Black owned. Come on, somebody. Rocket Lawyer, founded in 2008 by Charlie Moore in San Francisco, is a legal tech company providing affordable and simple legal services. Since its inception, the platform has provided legal assistance for over 25 million people and organizations. The services include on call lawyers, lawyer reviews, and legal documents and forms to ensure safe and secure storage of documents. Business contracts, real estate, family and personal, affordable legal advice. All the things, e-sign, taxes, incorporate your business, group legal benefits, all of it. All of it. Okay, last but not least, and I just want to make sure I got my count right. I think we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Saratoga Energy is last, but not the least, of course. We got Saratoga Energy. Zero emissions battery anode materials made in the US. I don't know anything about any the energy stuff and the environmental stuff. Don't know much about, but love to learn more about it. Drew Reed, 2012, Richmond, California. Saratoga Energy developed a revolutionary proprietary process to convert carbon dioxide into carbon nanotubes and oxygen using electrochemistry. These carbon nanotubes enable higher battery capacity for cars and electric grids, in addition to reducing carbon emissions through using renewable energy. What can we say about this? Oh, So it's kind of cool. Our technology. See, they're probably doing some game-changing stuff. Lithium ion batteries, carbon composites. And that's what Saratoga's doing, folks. Okay. Interesting work. Interesting work. Don't have much to say about it, but I believe that, what they're doing is certainly groundbreaking. All right, we're gonna let me just get back to the presentation because we got to get straight to it, into this brand new series, people. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Boy, are we gonna have a good old time. Next Gen Project Manager series. Let me make sure I got everything. Everything's in focus. Come on, somebody. We're gonna click out of this. The big question that we're asking today, I just want to make sure that we're clear on the question of the hour. The question for this show is, what does it take to be a next gen digital project manager? What does it take? What does it take to be a next gen digital project manager? Okay. What does it take? What's being required of you in this particular season? And I believe that there's 3 core areas that we're going to be focusing on that are going to help each and every one of you. All right. And we're back in focus. Beautiful. So I believe that there are 3 core areas, 1, 2, and 3, that are most certainly going to help you in this season. Okay. We're talking about leadership development. We're talking about project strategy. We're talking about execution. So let's break it down for each 10, and then every week we'll have a leadership lesson. We'll have a element of a project strategy, and we will have an execution piece, and we're going to just break down these particular areas. So let's get it, people. Let's just, so exciting. In our leadership corner, I want to drill down for you all empathy. Today, we're going to be focusing on empathy. As a Next Gen Project Pro, this is going to be critical to how you manage projects, lead teams, and develop processes. It starts with the empathy. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the core starting points. I do have the definition from the Brené Brown, which she states that empathy is connecting to the emotions that underpin an experience. Okay. That's one definition of empathy. Okay. I want to take a step back for us to tease out a little bit that people make projects. Projects solve problems for people. People are central to the process. Who's with me? Let's rewind it. Let's rewind it back, shall we? I want to do that for you. I'm going to rewind it back, and in fact, let's stop the share for a minute. I want to really drill this point because it's just so it's central. It's central to what we're doing here. It really is. Okay. People make projects. Projects solve problems for people. People are central to the process. So this requires us to tap into another level of leadership. Okay. Many of us have experienced having a supervisor, a director, an employer, circumstances which we were told to do something, instructed to take a different approach. And we often have had conversations behind the scenes with our friends, colleagues, parents, whomever will listen, to say, you know what? I don't like the way so and so said this. I don't like my experience with such and such, or that particular person does X, Y, and Z. The X person is just not effective. Okay. Now, depending, I don't know all the circumstances, right? I'm just talking from personal experience. And I'm not going to tell you that you're not right or wrong. Okay. And from my experience, I definitely had an approach of taking a lot of stuff personally. Number one, I also lacked accountability in some areas as I was growing and maturing. And then there's the flip side of, it's always a interesting experience working with people, period. And I believe that one of the things for me was wanting to see people that cared about others. I thought that was instrumental. I was always like, I need you to be nice, right? I need you to be kind. Okay. I need you to show that you care. That was my biggest thing. And I almost thought that you couldn't be both, like kind but firm, or kindness was equated to, being a pushover. But back to the core definition of what we're talking about, which is empathy, which I had learned from, the good Brene Brown. Let me bring up another Brene Brown empathy um, piece. Okay. Because I want to talk a little bit. Hold on one second. I just want to. Okay, hold on. Just a quick. Okay. So she also says, empathy is a strange and powerful thing. There's no script, there's no right way or wrong way of doing it. It's simply listening, holding space without judgment, emotionally connecting, and communicating the incredibly healing message of you're not alone. So, one of the core things for me that I had to learn about empathy is that I thought I had to have the exact same experience of someone, which I was reminded, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, you do not have to have the same exact experience. You don't have to have you don't have to labor with that person in terms of their experience, but there's a relational aspect to it, right? A relationship. So me as a systems process driven person, I didn't have a clue that empathy was something I needed to lean into. And if you're serious about the work that you're doing, then you probably will think to yourself, how and when, have I been empathetic? I mean, it's a really, really good, very, very good thing to look into. So in the chat, I want you to type really quickly. Talk about empathy in the chat. Talk about empathy. Tell me a little bit. I want to pull up something. One more thing. Okay. So let's see. All right. So, maybe don't want to go to strategy just yet. So the next thing is wanting to share this other quote that Brene Brown has, which is the power of empathy. I'm in it with you. I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to feel with you and let you know that you're not alone. So this is, another great quote of not being like, you don't have to have the same experience, but you can exude what it means to be empathetic. So as a project pro, you're probably wondering, how do we show empathy within the work that we do? The hustle and bustle of tasks and things, you may say to yourself, do we even have time for all that? And in fact, that you do. So 3 points on empathy. Let's highlight this. Empathy as a project pro does 3 things: creates team understanding and builds team trust, reduces stress through minimized conflict, creates a safe space where teams can get out of their comfort zone and take risks. I'm going to say it one more time. 3 points I want to make is that number 1, it creates team understanding and builds team trust. Okay? So it's understanding and trust. Okay? You're listening, you're leaning in, you are holding space for your team members. One thing I've been saying for a while now is that the work that's being done, and I want to say, whether it is nonprofit sector, whether you are a chamber of commerce, whether you are an entrepreneur and you have a service pro business agency, the work that we're doing, it's more intentional, it's more complex, and there's more at risk. Okay? What I mean is that the stakes are high. It's not just this plug, play, go, do. There's more connection to the work than ever before. So, as a project manager, we are not just, let's just click the task and go. We are the leaders, we are the strategists, we are the executors. And as my good friend Quantel Latte would say, we are your thought partners. Okay. So lean into this, create team understanding and build trust, reduces stress through minimize conflict, understanding your team members, who they are, what they do. We'll be talking about DISC too later on, and getting to know team members. Creates a safe space where the team can get out of their comfort zones. Nobody wants a project pro, a leader, as someone who is just a dictator, who's just concerned about the task that getting done and nothing else. That doesn't work. How do we apply empathy? Let's focus in on this, shall we? Empathy requires heart-centered and active listening. It's what is being said. It's the how and the tapping into that. It's active listening. It is, let me not be the star of the show, of the meeting. Let me ensure that team members have a voice. Let me make sure that I am actively listening to the words. What's the intention behind it? And let me tell you something, this takes practice. This is not like I'm going to do it tomorrow and I'm going to get it. This is an active thing. So I was doing some goals, and I'm going to be setting up a ClickUp goal thing, and I wanted to create a list because I wanted to be able to track progress on leadership development for this quarter. So I'm going to finish out the DISC training that is being created by Duan Matunga. And so it is fantastic. It's a great course so far. So I'm going to do I think I said 3 videos a week. They're short videos, but I am taking notes on Miro. I have a Miro study board. What am I learning? I need to add a stickies for my key reflections. Maybe I'll share that with you all. So something to work on. Okay, my other piece, getting to know people. I believe that people work better when everyone respects and likes one another. Now, I'm here for the pushback on that. But the point is that I believe in the liking is not like I like you because you're nice to me. Well, maybe that's part of it. But I think the respect comes from I like how you approach problems. I like how you approach the team. I like how you're thoughtful and intentional. And that's what makes me like you. Okay? So I just believe that that helps people to work better. I really do. I really do. It's not a matter of you as a project pro wanting to just come in and say, I just want people to like me because I'm just fun. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what's the approach that you take? What's the intentionality behind your words and your actions? Do they match up? Character baby. Character baby in 2023. Let's magnify that. Let's magnify that. Okay. Lastly, foster an environment of empathy through shared transparency. Don't be the leader that's closed off. Come on, somebody. Transparency in project work is key. Don't hide stuff. Be transparent as you need to be in context to the stakeholders that you have, RACI chart, all that. I'm not saying that you just need to spill the beans about everything every 2 seconds. What I am saying is that it's very important that you as a leader are not hiding, not hiding the progress, not hiding if things are in trouble. Okay. Shared transparency. Shared transparency. Okay. Questions about that? Questions about that? Let me know, please. I'd love to know. Got any questions? We're going to go into project strategy. We got 2 more sections, y'all. 2 more sections. Any questions people have about this empathy piece? Would love for you to text PM Huddle. Where is it? I would love for you to text PM Huddle if you have some questions about, what's being shared tonight. This is where PMs, we're going to link up via text, share some good content. It's going to be good. It's going to be really, really good. All right. Let's rock and roll. We got 2 more sections, but this is going to be real good. Strategy, elements of project strategy. We're going to be going in deep into all of these over the next several months. But elements of project strategy, we have something at the organizational level where you are developing what does project management look like as a process and a strategy so that you have consistency across your projects. And then at the project level, this is the approach that you're going to take to execute the project itself. How do you develop project strategy? Several ways that factor into it. One is a project approach. So we're looking at waterfall, which is sequential, phased approach. Agile, it's more iterative approach. This is where you hear the word sprint a lot. 2-week sprints, 4-week sprints. This is where the requirements are a little bit loose. You have some things, but you don't have all. Dividing the work up into sprints, having a backlog of items, having a more collaborative team work together. Typically in that waterfall, a little bit more siloed, not all the time. And then you have hybrid. Sometimes you got to do a little mix because it depends on the maturity of an organization or a team, skill level, that type of thing. And just the pure fact that lots of projects are unique. So you just, unless you have a very mature organization that knows like these are the type of projects they work on, then you may have agile-ish, or you may have waterfall, just depending. Goal setting, huge on KPIs and OKRs. Understanding how the goals align with the business in the organization, and then have that dovetails down into the project goals and the outcomes. Make sure that's documented, well thought out. Defining your comms strategy. I love it. And just a little notation, okay? Because even as a certified PMP, learning from the Project Management Institute, reading books, my lived experience, I'm also taking from a framework and then expounding upon what I've also learned as well. Okay? So, I think this is key to how are we going to do the work, team ops plan? How are we going to communicate with us as a team and as a client and with our clients or stakeholders? And then risk management. How are you managing risk? This, my friends, is some core areas. You could add some other things if you want to, but this really helps to mold it all together. Some may say, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And I mean, in a traditional sort of waterfall kind of approach, like a few years back, you have like your project management plan, right? Like it's just like the document, and then it's like, the MS project or your Asana, boom. But there are also other elements, because the work is not always cookie cutter. You're not always going to know everything up front. I just believe that as an organization and or as a team, what's really going to be the difference maker is you being able to say, how are we going to operate as a team in terms of the work, our approach, who's responsible for what, where are we, where's our single source of truth? That's my phrase, single source of truth. What's our communication strategy for meetings, for task updates, for client communication? What are those things? And then risk. Something we're gonna we definitely gonna get into risk. It's gonna be exciting. I tell you what, there's nothing. Well, there's lots of things that bring me joy, but tell you what, talk about that risk management. We going in high, we going in deep. We're going to go high and we're going to go deep with that. What else did I want to say? Okay, yeah, that's it for the strategy piece. Let me make sure in my notes I don't have anything else. Yeah, that's it. Okay, execution, and then we'll do a wrap up. Execution. Oh, this gets me excited too every time. I put this. It's just a simple word. There's so many layers to it, right? Which is execution is not the task that's complete. Okay, it's not the I've done it. Execution is how well have I done it? How do I manage change? How am I managing risk? You feel me? What's the quality of my work? That's what we're talking about. But this particular element of managing change, I did want to highlight a few things on that. I don't know a project that has not had some form of element of scope creep, whether that necessarily came into fruition or not, whether that had a major impact or not. But at some point in time, there's been an expansion upon what was agreed upon in the beginning of the project. Case in point, shout out to those that are doing a lot of in-person events. The scope can get wild and crazy. And in fact, when we do the Next Gen Digital PM IG Live series, we're going to have some event pros talk all about that as well. The managing of change. How do they do that? Budgeting contingency plans. Whew. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because this is some good stuff right here. So the first point I want to make is be prepared for scope creep. It's inevitable that there is some form of change. Someone's going to have an idea, CEO. Okay. Someone's going to have a big idea. The lead boss, the lead person. Someone's going to have an idea. Listen, you may be PMing yourself and driving it. You may have your own idea that expands the original intent. So I want to talk about the importance of evaluating, making change. I had a IG, I think a carousel on the fact that scope creep, depending on the situation, can actually be to your advantage. But you have to do three things. You want to evaluate the time. How much time would this change take place? Like, what's the time? The scope. How does it negatively or positively affect the scope? We talk about scope, we're talking about deliverables, requirements, the actual, outcome itself. The what are we doing and what we're not doing? That's what we're talking about. The cost, because there's always a cost to something. Okay. So I am building out a particular digital PM playbook of sorts, and I'll be including you all in the process of that. But for me, there's always a cost. There's a cost to it of building a product. Okay, there's a cost monetarily, money, resources, people. Okay, so one thing I could, for instance, there's going to be some interactive elements in it, multimedia. It's going to be, some written blog posts. There's going to be some audio, video. And of course, I can do all myself, but I want to reach out and touch and get some professionals in the mix. So maybe I want to do something where I want to expand, and maybe I want to like a 3-course thing to accompany it. 3-course, like a 3-module course to accompany the playbook, expanding the scope and the intent of the playbook. It's going to cost. How much time will that take? How does this positively or negatively affect the original intent of the scope and the requirements? And how much will this cost? You got to do it, folks. Scope changes can work in your favor, but you must have a process. Graphic designers, website designers, social media strategists, content creators. Hello, somebody. Managing the change. What's the process? Well, hopefully you have contracts in place that can protect you, number one, which has a process for someone adding on to a deliverable, or maybe they have a few more changes that they want to a particular item that you've produced. You may have it inside the contract. Hey, if you do this, this is what happens. You pay a fee. You fill out this form so I can capture what you need, and then we make the change. Having a submission project easily. Asana has forms now. ClickUp has forms now. Notion forms. Being able to submit what the change is so that you could manage the change requests. This is something I can probably feel it could be super critical for web designers who need to have a change management process, and that can be able to log what changes need to be made, especially if you're doing maintenance or if you have to do some rework. So, my friends, let's go to our next one because we're in wrap-up mode now. In our action lab, what should we take away? And we're going to do this live and uncut. So the big idea, the question that we asked is, what does it really take to be the next gen PM? Okay, what is it going to take? So number one, we talked about empathy. We're going to work on active listening. For project strategy, the key takeaway is making sure that you have OKRs and KPIs. I would also say too, um, defining your PM approach: waterfall, hybrid, and agile. Execution: managing change equals having a process. Okay. 3 factors that you should evaluate: time, cost. All right. Well, we've come to the end. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Systems Lab Live. This is the Next Gen Digital PM series. We'll be back next week answering this critical question, the big idea. What does it take? What does it take to be a Next Gen Digital PM? We'll see you later. Project Pros. We out.